craft beer of Cubs Radio to raise a toast with Two-Hearted or Oberon. Cubs come out swinging against Marquez. And here's Yan Gomes. Nobody out, a run in the bank. Gomes will take a strike. I want to say hi to Ron Coomer. Ronnie is off today. He'll be back tomorrow. And what a series you two, Zach, you and Coombs, covered in New York against the Mets. The Cubs sweeping the team with the second best record in the National League. Gomes drives one in the air, deep left center, back toward the warning track, and on the track, Daza makes the catch and gets it back in. Happ retreats to first. But I think I've heard both of you at various times say that it was quite possibly the best three-game series the Cubs have had all year long.
Yeah, and manager David Ross agreed with that when I talked to him today in the pregame show. Every aspect of baseball was a successful one for the Cubs in New York during that three-game series. A whole variety of different things had to go right to beat a team like the Mets. Cubs had great starting pitching, terrific pitching out of the pen, great defense, and clutch hitting throughout.
Franmil Reyes, the big, sturdy, right-handed batting designated hitter, takes a strike. Game time temperature 81 at Wrigley. Enjoy these days. The calendar tells us we are beyond the midway point of September, so as much as you'd like to think we have plenty of these beautiful days left, the reality is maybe yes, maybe no. Enjoy these. And it's a lovely day today. Fly ball to center off the bat of Reyes, playable for Grichuk. The former Cardinal and former Blue Jay makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Cubs lead 1-0, and now Colorado native David Bodie steps in.
And Bodie has always performed well against the Rockies. Remember, he made his Major League debut in Colorado against the Rockies back in 2018. 13 games in his career against Colorado. Bodie hitting .333 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs.
2 down, a run in. Cubs on top 1-0, bottom of the first. Bodie, wearing red batting gloves on each hand, takes a strike. Game time temperature 81, sponsored by 4 Seasons. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. For all the right reasons, call 866-4Seasons. Bodie will take a fastball low and away, 1-1. It's been a while since these two teams have seen one another. It's been a long while, in fact. The Cubs played in Colorado on their season opening road trip, a trip that started with 2 games in Pittsburgh and then 4 in Colorado. That series ended on April 17, 5 full months ago. And now the 1-1 on the way to Bodie. A swing and a miss on a good slider, 1-2. In fact, 135 games have gone by between the series between the Cubs and the Rockies. Very unusual. The Cubs and Rockies split those 4, and I don't recall a whole lot about that series. Zach, do you? Here's the 1-2. Line into right center field. There's a base hit. Racing around second is Happ, going to third. The throwback Grichuk cut off. Cubs with their 3rd hit in the first inning against Marquez. The inning will continue for Jared Young, and I was listening to David Haw. David talking about Jared Young, and David, let's bring you in. You pointed out he has spent a long time in the minor leagues before finally getting this chance.
Pat, 1,692 at bats, 15th round draft pick. You know, I love those stories kind of coming out of nowhere, and this is somebody from British Columbia. You don't expect him to be your Cub first baseman, but here he is with his Major League debut. What an opportunity for the young man.
First and third, 2 down. Jared Young is a left-handed batter, and he will take outside for ball 1. Undoubtedly some butterflies floating around in his system right now. Young left-handed batter, slightly open stance. And he swings and misses, has a good cut. Came up empty, 1-1. Crone is holding the runner Bodie at first. Happ leading in foul territory at third. Happ wearing the powder blue colored shoes today. And the next pitch to Young, swing and a miss by Jarrett, and the count 1-2. And we welcome all of you wherever you might be tuned in today. We know this is the only big league baseball going on around the majors. So welcome aboard. And if you are a fan of a contending team, this is when it gets very, very exciting. Mid-September, and there are a lot of teams battling for division titles and wild cards. And we'll talk about those as we move along. The 1-2 to Young. Swing and a miss, strike three, the ball in the dirt. Servin, the catcher, throws to first to complete the putout, and that ends the inning. But the Cubs get a run, a triple by McKinstry, and an RBI single by Ian Happ. After one, Cubs 1, Rockies nothing. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game right here. This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woohoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Get ready for Chicago Gourmet. This September 22nd through 25th, Chicago Gourmet is creating a stir with a weekend of spirited events, serving up delicious food, premium wines, spirits, and beer. Join world-class chefs Rick Bayless, Stephanie Izard, Danielle Boulou, Sarah Gruenberg, and more for gourmet fun on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Tickets will sell out. Get yours today at chicagogourmet.org. From the Illinois Restaurant Association, Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits, and Choose Chicago.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Cubs leading the Rockies 1-0 after an inning here at Wrigley Field. The second inning sponsored by Allegiant Air, official airline of the Cubs Radio Network. Book your next trip only at Allegiant.com. Pat?
Thanks to David Haw. You can hear him on The Score Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., along with Mike Mulligan. The Mulligan-Haw Show. Second inning, Brendan Rodgers first up. Long-haired, bearded, right-handed batter will take a strike from Marcus Stroman.
That last pitch coming in at 92 miles per hour. The speed gun is powered by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
Stroman misses outside 2-0. We gave you the uniform descriptions. Those are sponsored by the good people at Benjamin Moore, the official paint of the Chicago Cubs. The 2-0 pitch, fisted foul down the right field line and out of play. Download the Color Portfolio app to see your space transformed. Visit BenjaminMoore.com for a location near you. Rodgers hitting .263. He's got some power, 11 home runs. He dribbles one foul off to the left, 2-2. Stroman suffered a loss to the Giants his last time out, back on September 10, last Saturday. Worked 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs. The start before that, 7 shutout innings at St. Louis. Fastball is outside, 3-2.
And it's been one of those peculiar oddities of the season for Stroman. On the road, you mentioned that outing in St. Louis. He's got an ERA under 2 in 12 starts away from Wrigley this season. But a very different story here.
This ball is outside for ball 4. Leadoff walk here in the second inning. Zach, I was looking at those numbers. Now, Marcus has said he loves pitching here. He loves the fan base, loves the energy and the atmosphere at Wrigley. I think every ball player would agree with him. I certainly do. But I think as much as he enjoys it, he'll enjoy it even more, much more, when he starts winning some games here.
Yeah, he's 0-5 at Wrigley Field this season in 9 starts at the friendly confines. A 7+ ERA.
Now Grichuk hits out of a crouch. Right-handed batter. And the pitch on the way to Grichuk, and it's in there for a strike.
And I asked David Ross about that prior to today's game. Can he put his finger as to why there's such a discrepancy between home and road for Marcus Stroman? And he just started laughing. There really isn't an answer. It's just one of those weird baseball things.
And there's a long list of those things, by the way. A pitch, check swing, that's going to be a strike, 0-2. That's part of the fun. You know, I was thinking about this Rocky team. Now, neither club in this game today are postseason bound, and they're already starting to make plans for 2023, evaluating and giving auditions to various players. Here comes the 0-2 to Grichuk, and it's outside for a ball. But if you go back to 2007, this Rocky team was 6.5 games back at this stage of the year, and they put on one of the great playoff runs in baseball history. Here's a pitch looped into shallow right center field. Coming in as Velasquez makes a running catch. And hustling back to first is Rogers. Grichuk retired, fly ball to right. 1-0 Cubs second inning, and here's Michael Toglia. So again, in fact, exactly 15 years ago today, these Rockies were 6.5 games out with 14 games to play. I mean, that's a big margin. But they put together an incredible stretch of winning 13 of their last 14 regular season games, which earned them a tie for the wild card. This was back in the 1 wild card days, not 2 and not 3 the way we have this year. There was just 1 wild card team per league. Here's a fastball down low. But they caught San Diego on the season's final day and forced a 1-game tiebreaker to advance into the playoffs. And the game was played at Coors Field, and it was a crazy game. It went 13 innings. You imagine that? The wild card tiebreaker going 13 innings, the drama, the tension, the exhaustion. This is game number 163, where everyone is dog-tired anyway. But you don't really think about the fatigue when you're involved in something that dramatic. You're playing for history and a chance to advance. And Colorado won that game in 13 innings. Here comes the 1-1. Low to Michael Toglia. They won the game 9-8. And it wasn't just a regular 9-8 final. They fell behind 8-6 in the top of the 13th inning, and Trevor Hoffman is trying to save the game for San Diego. He had over 600 saves in his career.
Yeah, at the time a future Hall of Famer. Now he's in there.
But he did not save that game. The Rockies put together a rally. Finally, Matt Holliday tripled off the scoreboard in right to tie the game, and then a short sacrifice fly allowed Holliday to score the winning run as he collided with San Diego catcher Michael Barrett, who used to catch for the Cubs. Fastball, strike three called. Tolia is out number 2. And anyway, they beat San Diego in dramatic fashion, 9-8 to advance. Then they beat Arizona in the opening division round. They made it all the way to the World Series before losing to the Boston Red Sox. But that's a great baseball tale. 6.5 back with 14 to play. Don't ever give up, right?
They swept both series in the postseason over the Diamondbacks, over the Phillies. They lose to the Red Sox in the World Series, but they got hot at the right time, which gave every other team that came after the Rockies hope that September magic can happen.
I think the lesson is don't ever give up too soon. And you can apply that not just in baseball, but in a lot of things in sports and in life in general, for that matter. Connor Joe, the batter. Connor with a count of 1-1. I always look for a comma when I see his name. Connor, Joe, but it's actually Connor the first name, Joe the last name, Joe.
You'll get over it.
I haven't yet. Cubs lead 1-0, second inning. And I'm sure you remember Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop for Colorado, back in that era that I mentioned. Smacked on the ground to third, glove by Bodie, moving to his left, throws to second. There's the force. That's the inning. We'll get back to yesteryear tales momentarily. Rockies don't score, leave 1. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Cubs 1, Colorado 0. You are listening to The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Making baseball memories. Listen to every Cubs game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Into the bottom of the second, the Cubs lead the Rockies 1-0. And the W Club, powered by CDW, celebrates the unique tradition of Wrigley Field. Enjoy access to the dedicated entrance, exclusive views of the Cubs batting tunnel, and one-of-a-kind memorabilia displays. Visit Cubs.com/premier.
Okay, David, thank you. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Cubs lead 1-0. Michael Hermosillo will lead things off against Herman Marquez. Hermosillo swings at a changeup, doesn't get it 0-2. Zach, it's about time for us to play the attendance game. Sponsored by Benny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. 1-2 strikes on Hermosillo. If you would like to start, Zach, go right ahead. I know how you like to guess first, and I'm not going to stand in your way. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Hermosillo is out, number 1. Nelson Velasquez coming up. Wait a minute. You don't want to guess first?
No, I'll go. We stopped giving courtesy guesses for you on the road in New York. Now that you're in the Hall of Fame, it just doesn't seem appropriate. But Mike Esposito, who wasn't even in New York, was not in the stadium, won 2 out of 3 in the series.
That's just not right. Here's the ground ball to short. Scoop up Trejo, and Trejo throws to first in time.
But I'm going to go with 30,000 on the dot.
Wow. I like that. I'm going to go 31-0-13. 31013. Just to let David Hahn know, we try to make our guesses palindromic, David.
I'm a regular listener, and I know
Okay.
the shenanigans you guys play, so I'm ready for both of you. 29,375. I'm going under.
Very good. Now, Paul Zarang. Here's the ground ball to the hole at short. Trejo, long throw, high throw, and safe at first is Morel. Christopher hustling. A good throw would have had him, but the throw pulled Crone off the bag up in the air. He tried to tag Morel going by, but that's one thing we've noticed about Chris Morel. He is a hustler, and that's the only reason he was safe on that play, by busting as hard as he could down the line, Zach.
And I think it puts so much pressure on defensive players when that happens. It ends up being an error on the shortstop, Trejo, but it just rushes that internal clock for an infielder when you see a runner busting down the first base line.
Well, Morel likes to run. You got McKinstry at the plate. Cubs leading by a run. Morel a short lead. And the pitch to McKinstry is a strike. Morel still tightening his base running gloves over at first, being held by Crone. McKinstry tripled off the vines in center in the first and scored the game's only run. He pops one up shallow left. Drifting in with the glasses glistening is Daza, and he makes the catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, and error, a man left. We go to the third. The score: Cubs 1, Rockies nothing. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Listen to every exciting game here.
This September, Chicago Gourmet is going Uberboard. Join host Chef Sarah Gruenberg for Prost in the Park, a new Oktoberfest-style event with chef takes on classic German delights, Uba bands, fun cocktails, and delicious craft beer. From familiar favorites to a big collection of local craft breweries, get ready to toast at this Sunday Fun Day on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Prost in the Park, Sunday, September 25th. Tickets at chicagogourmet.org. Presented by Performance Food Service.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Cubs lead the Rockies 1-0 in the third, and the third inning is sponsored by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. De-stress after the game with a massage or facial starting at $69.95. Zach?
David, thank you so much. We begin the top half of the third inning here at Wrigley Field with the Cubs on top of the Rockies 1-0. Ian Happ giving the Cubs the lead with an RBI single the other way in the first inning. Alan Trejo, the Rockies shortstop, leading things off here in the Rockies half of the third inning. Hitting from the right side against the right-hander Marcus Stroman, working on the first base side of the rubber. Stroman rocks back, high leg kick and the pitch. Trejo looks at a strike on the outer half, 0-1. A reminder that all Cubs stolen bases are sponsored by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. The 0-1. That one hits Trejo. Got him in the midsection around the back, so he will head to first. to begin this top half of the third inning.
Kind of a grazing blow. It just skimmed right by the uniform shirt.
It may have hit as he turned inside. He's got that padding on the elbow. May have hit the inside of the pad covering the left elbow. But either way, Trejo's okay. He's at first base. And the catcher, Brian Servin, at the plate with the Cubs up 1-0 over Colorado. The pitch, low and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Servin. We finally have our guest from the Maestro, Paul Zarang, the man who helps us blast through the speakers of your radio and smart devices. 33,922 is Paul's guess in the attendance game. Stroman delivers. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. Throw to second base. In time. And they nail a sliding Trejo trying to take second. One away. Beautiful play by Yan Gomes. Hopped up on his feet and made a throw to second base where the tag was applied by Zach McKinstry.
Hit and run for the Rockies. You could tell Trejo looking over his left shoulder back at the plate to see what the batter did with the pitch. And after the swing and a miss, Trejo knew he was in trouble. Gomes made a good throw, as Zach told you. And that's out number one.
1-1 the count to Servin at the plate. The pitch. A bouncing ball right back to Stroman, right side of the mound. Underhand toss to first in time. Too quickly away. And that'll bring up the leadoff man, Ryan McMahon. The third baseman is 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to second base. The Cubs with a 1-0 lead over the Rockies.
Zach, one Rocky noticeably absent from the first time we saw them back in April. Former Cub Chris Bryant. Limited only 42 games all season long.
Stroman deals the pitch to McMahon, grounded to second, fielded by McKinstry on the edge of the outfield grass. He throws to first, and that is out number 3. Bryant on the injured list with a foot injury. We head to the last half of the third here at Wrigley Field. Cubs 1, Rockies 0 on the score. And the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to Pat and Ron call every exciting game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
This September, Chicago Gourmet is going Uberboard. Join host Chef Sarah Gruenberg for Prost in the Park, a new Oktoberfest-style event with chef takes on classic German delights, Uba bands, fun cocktails, and delicious craft beer. From familiar favorites to a big collection of local craft breweries, get ready to toast at this Sunday Fun Day on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Prost in the Park, Sunday, September 25th. Tickets at chicagogourmet.org. Presented by Performance Food Service.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Hap is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is brought to you by On Deck, America's largest online small business lender. Apply today at ondeck.com.
David, thank you very much. Here's Hap at the plate. Switch hitter batting for the left side against German Marquez, the hard-throwing Colorado right-hander. Inside with a ball, 1-0 the count to Hap. A changeup that missed. Happ responsible for the Cubs having the lead. An RBI single in the first. The pitch. Swung on and hit in the air. Deep left center field, but playable. No! A sliding attempt by the center fielder, Grichuk, results in the ball dropping in right in front of him, and Happ has his second single of the game. Boy, Grichuk continues to have some issues out there in center field. In the top half of the first inning, Zach McKinstry hit what turned out to be a triple, a ball that appeared playable to straightaway center field, but ended up bouncing off the wall. And here now, moments ago, Happ is able to get a single on a ball that Grichuk misread. I think he went back, then came in, and that allowed the ball to drop right in front of him despite the sliding attempt. So Happ at first. Here's Yan Gomes. He swings and misses at the first offering from Marquez. 0-1.
Zach, I think sometimes when a guy in the middle of the order, a guy that has some pop like Ian Happ, takes a big swing, the outfielder naturally assumes that it's a hard hit ball. And sometimes they're wrong with that assumption.
And Grichuk certainly was there. So 0-1 the count to Gomes with Happ at first base. Cubs on top of the Rockies 1-0. Cubs are right in the heart of their lineup, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine, with teams that take on the toughest cases at over 200 locations. The 0-1. Up high and inside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Gomes. Hitting at .233 on the year with 7 home runs and 25 RBIs. Gomes flat out to left in the first. He's 0 for 1. Happ, good speed at first base, extends his lead, being held on by Chrome. The pitch, a bouncing ball hit on the left side. Slow roller, fielded by Trejo. On the run, he throws to first in time to get Gomes. But that's almost like a sacrifice bunt because it was hit so slowly. Happ advances to second base.
Pretty nice play by Trejo, charging that ball, gloving it, never setting the feet, made the running sidearm throw and got something on the throw to first. Good play.
So that'll bring up the Cubs cleanup man, Franmil Reyes. Cubs cleanup hitters are sponsored by LRS, keeping streets, businesses, and construction sites safe and clean with innovative street sweeping and dumpster services. LRSrecycles.com. Happ at second, 1 away here in the last of the third. Cubs up 1-0. Marquez looks at second, kicks and fires. Reyes swings, hits one in the air. Center field, playable. The catch is made by the center fielder Grichuk, roaming to his left. And Happ stays at second base, 2 away. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the all-new Bernstein and Holmes Show, weekdays 10 to 2 on the Score. WSCR and HD Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Station.
Cubs leading the Rockies 1-0. The man on second base and 2 away here in the bottom of the third inning. Coming to you live all season long from the Wintrust Cubs radio broadcast booth. Here's David Bodie, right-handed batter against the right-hander Marquez, who deals. That's in there for a strike, a slider that floated into the zone, 0-1. Bodie singled in the first, as always hit the Rockies well. He's a native of Colorado. The 0-1. Outside, count even at 1-1. A fastball that missed, 96 miles per hour from Marquez. Cubs faced him back on April 15th in Colorado. Cubs scored 4 runs on 10 hits in 4 1/3 against Marquez in that game. The 1-1. Bounced in the dirt, beautifully blocked by the catcher Servin, so Happ stays at second base.
Bodie had the biggest day of his big league career, June 5, 2019, against Colorado. 4 for 4 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. And yes, he was the Benny's Beverage Depot toast of the game ball player that day. I think.
I can't imagine there was another candidate who came close, right? Here's the 2-1. Bodie looks at a strike on the outer half. Doesn't like the call by the home plate umpire, Paul Emmel, the crew chief. Just turned around and looked at Emmel. 2-2 the count. A traditional infield for the Rockies, meaning two guys on each side of second base. Outfield just about straight away with Bodie at the plate. The pitch. Low and outside for a ball. A full count. That was a fastball that missed it. 97 miles an hour from Marquez. A 27-year-old right-hander. 6'1", 230 pounds, a native of Venezuela. 8-10 this season with a 5+ ERA in 27 starts. Marquez looks at second and delivers the pitch. Oh, it hits Bodie in the back. So it'll take first base. That was a slider. So now men at first and second for the Cubs with 2 away here in the third. And the first baseman, Jared Young, due up.
David got hit right near the left elbow. He does have that protective pad like so many hitters have these days around the elbow and the forearm area. And unfortunately, that ball got a lot of the pad and did not get much of his flesh.
He's fine. He was pointing to his triceps elbow area. Bench was asking him if he's doing okay. He's fine. Big lead at first base. Happ at second. Here's Young. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. A 96-mile-per-hour fastball with some sinking action from the right-hander Marquez. Young struck out swinging in his first big league at bat in the first. A left-handed batter, upright stance, little bend at the knees. Fouls one back. 0-2. I asked Young when he was a kid, who did he pattern himself after? And he said any left-handed batter wanted to swing like Ken Griffey Jr. Here's the 0-2. Bounced in the dirt, blocked by Servin. Runners stay where they are. 1-2 the count to Young. Hit .228 in Iowa before getting the call up. 16 home runs, 57 RBIs. What we've seen this season, though, is many of the minor leaguers who have gotten the call this year from the Cubs have performed better in the big leagues. The pitch, bouncing ball up the middle, fielded by the second baseman Rogers, juggles, throws to first in time to get Young, and that ends the third inning. Cubs leave 2 after 3. Cubs 1, Rockies nothing. On the Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Pat and Ron bring you all the action of every Cubs game here.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Today's fourth inning is sponsored by Wintrust, the exclusive home of Cubs checking. Cubs on top of the Rockies 1-0 after 3. And leading things off here in the top of the fourth, here's the left fielder, Jonathan Daza, hitting from the right side against the right-hander, Marcus Stroman. Stroman working on the first base side of the rubber. Takes a deep breath, sets at the belt, rocks back, and delivers the pitch. Daza looks at a strike on the outer half. A beautiful slider from Stroh. Ian Happ giving the Cubs the lead with an RBI single in the first inning. The pitch. Daza looks at a ball outside. 1-1 the count. Stroman on the year. 3-7 with an ERA of 3.91 in 21 starts. The pitch. Bouncer off the glove of Stroman. Picks it up, left of the mound, throws to first in time to get Daza. And one quickly away here to begin the fourth with the Cubs up 1-0 over Colorado. Joined by David Haw here today, this afternoon, with Ron Coomer having the day off.
Thanks, Zach. That's another example. Marcus Stroman fielding his position as well as anybody does. And I think he's so efficient today, and he has helped himself on the mound with the glove, and that's why he is at 34 pitches through 3 1/3.
So here's C.J. Cron. The pitch. Cron looks at a strike on the outer half. 0-1, a 92-mile-per-hour fastball with sinking action. Cron, a big-time, powerful slugger, 28 home runs, 97 RBIs. The pitch, he hits one in the air, deep center field. Going back, Hermosillo, short of the track, fighting the sun now on the track, turns around and makes the catch facing right field. 2 away.
Not an easy catch. That was a really nice play on Michael Hermosillo. Tracked it, fought the sun, made the catch. Could have been a lot worse. I think we saw in the first inning the opposite happened with the Rockies with McKinstry's ball. Michael Hermosillo makes that play, make it not easy, but he got it done.
Hermosillo had an unbelievable catch in the 9th inning Wednesday night in the finale in New York against the Mets.
This team's playing good baseball right now, and it's hard to believe they go into New York with that sweep, but it's because of getting great starting pitching and defense like what we just saw from Hermosillo.
Brendan Rodgers at the plate takes a strike from Stroman, 0-1. Stroman rocks back and delivers. Pitch number 2, that's in there for strike 2. 92-mile-per-hour fastball. And that beautiful catch that Hermosillo had in the 9th inning in New York had to race from left center to right center. The pitch. Just outside, 1-2, a slider that missed to Rodgers. And Hermosillo, former football player, terrific straight line speed, race to right center, a leap near the wall, the 1-2, a wave and a miss, strike 3. And the Rockies go down in order here in the top of the 4th. Middle 4 at Wrigley. Cubs leading 1-0 over Colorado on the Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Listen to every exciting game here.
This September, Chicago Gourmet is going Uberboard. Join host Chef Sarah Gruenberg for Prost in the Park, a new Oktoberfest-style event with chef takes on classic German delights, Upa bands, fun cocktails, and delicious craft beer. From familiar favorites to a big collection of local craft breweries, get ready to toast at this Sunday Fun Day on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Prost in the Park, Sunday, September 25th. Tickets at chicagogourmet.org. Presented by Performance Food Service.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Tell your smart speaker to play 670 The Score and listen to every strikeout, double, and home run of Cubs baseball all summer long. Zach?
Thank you very much. That's David Haw. He'll be with us throughout the afternoon as well as the post-game show. Michael Hermosillo leading things off here in the Cubs half of the 4th inning. Looks at a ball inside from German Marquez. 1-0 the count. Hermosillo, a strikeout victim in the second. He's 0 for 1. Cubs with a 1-0 lead over Colorado. The pitch. Hermosillo grounds one foul off to the left. 1-1. The out-of-town scoreboard is fueled by Citgo. Keep your engine running smoothly with top-tier Tri-Clean gasoline from our proud partner, Citgo. Wherever you go, let's go together. This is the only game in the majors this afternoon, the 1-1. Hermosillo looks at a ball inside, 2-1 the count. Curveball that missed. There is some news. The Braves have activated their star second baseman, Ozzie Albies, from the injured list, the 2-1. A ground ball hit to short. It's fielded on a high hop by Trejo. His toss to first in time. Hermosillo is retired. And 1 away. That'll bring up Nelson Velasquez, a right fielder today. The Cubs up 1-0 over the Rockies.
Exactly. The Braves get Albies back, and the Mets, struggling as they are, they're going to get Scherzer back eventually. Both teams gearing up for the stretch run. That's the best race in the National League, along with the American League, the White Sox and the Guardians.
And the Mets with a 1-game lead over the Braves to start the day in the National League East. Here's Velasquez. Marquez deals. That's in their first strike, 0-1. Albies has not played since breaking his left foot back in June. So many young stars on that Atlanta team. Velasquez waits for the 0-1 delivery. Marquez deals. This is looped into right center field. It stays up for the right fielder, Tolia, who makes the catch. So 2 away. Velasquez in right for the Cubs today. Seiya Suzuki with the day off. Remember, got hit in the hand in New York in the finale. Stayed in the game. He took x-rays. All the tests show no major damage, but it's a pretty big bruise.
94-mile-per-hour fastball off the wrist. Did not look good. It's encouraging that the x-rays did not show anything bad, because that is somebody, even though it's just a couple weeks left, you'd like to see him finish strong.
And it still hurts, though. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Christopher Morel. Chops one on the ground to third. Backing up, McMahon fields it. High toss to first. Not in time. And Morel is safe at first for the second time today.
Another great example of what happens when you run hard down the first base line. You got a little speed, make the infielder a little bit nervous, making that throw not quite as perfect, and Morel beats it out.
So he has directly led to a couple of Rocky errors in this game. He reached in the second on an error by the shortstop Trejo, and reaches here in the fourth with 2 outs on an error by the third baseman McMahon, who's usually very good with the glove.
Speed kills.
Zach McKinstry at the plate, hitting from the left side against the right-hander Marquez. That pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. McKinstry led off the game with a triple off the wall in center and ended up scoring the game's first run on a ribby single by Ian Happ. Morel, great speed. He's on first, being held on by Crone. Marquez deals. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Speed kills, but effort helps. And when the two are combined,
well, nobody's ever worried about Christopher Morel's effort. This guy from day one has been all charisma, all intensity, and all fun.
That pitch pulled foul out of play by McKinstry, 1-2.
Really gives him an opportunity. You see what he has been able to do this year in emerge from a pack. And you see a guy like Michael Hermosillo with an opportunity to finish strong, to make his presence felt, because that outfield is getting crowded with a lot of good young prospects.
It's a good problem to have. 1-2 the count to McKinstry. Marquez works on the third base side of the rubber. Morel goes. The pitch outside. Throw to second. It's offline. No! An excellent play made by the shortstop, Trejo. The throw was offline to the second base side of the bag. A leap, a catch, and a tag all in one motion. Let's see if the Cubs elect to challenge the play. They do not. What an excellent play by the Rockies to end the fourth. Morel caught stealing 2-6. After 4, it's the Cubs 1 and the Rockies nothing on the Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Pat and Ron bring you all the action of every Cubs game here.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woohoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
This September, Chicago Gourmet is going Uberboard. Join host Chef Sarah Gruenberg for Prost in the Park, a new Oktoberfest-style event with chef takes on classic German delights, Uba bands, fun cocktails, and delicious craft beer. From familiar favorites to a big collection of local craft breweries, get ready to toast at this Sunday Fun Day on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Prost in the Park, Sunday, September 25th. Tickets at chicagogourmet.org. Presented by Performance Food Service.
Our fifth inning is powered by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
We move on to inning number 5 here at Wrigley. Beautiful day. We thank you for joining us. Cubs on top 1-0. Marcus Stroman's first pitch to Randall Grichuk is swung on and fouled back. Rockies have had 2 men reach base. Rogers walked in the second. Trejo was hit by a pitch in the third. Grichuk with that severe crouch. Right-handed batter waits, and the pitch. Called strike 3. Grichuk is out number 1. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by Hyundai and its award-winning lineup of SUVs, sedans, and hybrids. If you are just joining us, the Cubs scored right away in the first inning. Zach McKinstry tripling off the vines in dead center and scoring on a single by Ian Happ. Now the left-handed batting Michael Toglia takes a strike, 0-1. Stroman working rhythmically and effectively. Coming back 0-1. Toglia swings and misses.
Matt, we're coming to you live all season long from the Wintrust Cubs radio broadcast booth here at Wrigley Field. What a beautiful September Friday afternoon here at the Friendly Confines.
Hazy sunshine. The 0-2 pitch fouled away off the hands. A lot of birds are in the sky today. Now, they always are around Wrigley with people eating popcorn and hot dogs and other bird favorite munchies. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way to Toglia.
Bird favorite munchies. Like?
I think you know what I'm talking about, Zach.
I'll say yes.
But there were a couple very close to our booth.
They miss Coombe.
Coombs has been known to feed them. Is that what you're telling me?
Apparently.
Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Toglia, fouled away. But they're in force. The birds are in force a bit earlier in the day. Normally they come about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but today a little earlier for whatever reason. I mean, there were 2 right in front of our booth. I thought it was in that Alfred Hitchcock movie. There's the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Stroman and 5 in the game. He is razor sharp today. 2 down, 5th inning. Cubs lead 1-0, and the batter is Connor Joe.
And Pat, strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are sponsored by Hyundai and its award-winning lineup of SUVs, sedans, and hybrids.
Stroman making his 6th career start against these Rockies, a team against whom he is 3-2 lifetime, with a good ERA of 2.4. Connor Joe, the batter. Hit into a fielder's choice his first time. Pulls one sharply on the ground past third. Great bleacher crowd today. Beautiful green ivy on the outfield walls. The grass cut in cross sections. Looks like a gigantic green plaid checkerboard from where we are. The 0-1 is down low. It's 1-1. The field looks just beautiful. Cubs trying to keep it going, looking for their 4th straight win. Just getting started for the weekend. Cubs and Rockies. The Rockies will have been here all week long. They started the week on the south side. Pulled on the ground sharply, but right to the shortstop. Morrell comes up throwing to get him. 5 innings in the book. The Rockies without a base hit. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Cubs 1, Colorado 0. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Listen to every exciting game right here.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
A reminder, the 15th out is sponsored by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save. We get set for the last of the 5th with the Cubs up 1-0 over the Rockies. Here's Pat.
Zach McKinstry first up, left-handed batter, scored the game's only run after leading off the first inning with a towering triple to dead center. It hit the base of the wall at the 400-foot sign. And then he scored on a following single by Ian Happ down the line in left. McKinstry chops one foul, 0-2. I mentioned these Rockies were at Guaranteed Rate Field for a brief 2-game series with the White Sox earlier this week. They split the 2. Fastball is taken high. After losing the opener, they did manage to beat Dylan Cease 3-0 Wednesday afternoon on the south side behind Kyle Freeland. Pulled foul sharply down the right field line. Several teams have done that. They, instead of making 2 different trips into Chicago, they just make a full week of it and play on the south side and then come up north. Drilled to deep left center. Back is Grichuk at the wall. That ball is gone. Home run, Zach McKinstry. Opposite alley home run. It landed in the basket just to the left of the 368 sign, and the Cubs lead 2-0.
For McKinstry, his fourth home run of the year, taking advantage of the wind blowing out at this very moment to left field. It was a knuckle curve that hung up there, and McKinstry did not miss it.
Another hefty home run as Happ fouls it away. Sponsored by Hefty, the official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strong all day long. McKinstry's fourth of the year, his ninth run batted in. Happ pulls a ground ball to first, gloved by Crone, unassisted play, out number one. And the RBI for McKinstry. A reminder from Bell's Brewery, the official craft beer of Cubs Radio, to raise a toast with Two-Hearted or Oberon. McKinstry is the Cubs offense, a triple and a home run. He has scored both runs. Jan Gomes steps in. 2-0 Cubs here in the fifth. Marquez delivers. The pitch poked foul down the right field side, out of play.
And McKinstry has been on a tear lately, hitting .350 in his last 7 games.
Low and outside, 1-1.
Recall in the finale, the last time we were at Wrigley Field Sunday night, McKinstry had a career-high 4-hit game.
And the 1-1 to Gomes, swing and a miss.
Then in New York, had a 423-foot home run in the opener, the victory against the Mets to start the sweep. That was the longest home run of his career.
Now the 1-2 dribbled foul toward third. Gomes played for the Indians in Game 7 of the World Series back in 2016. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball got him. And that's the second out in the inning. Marquez with his 4th strikeout of the day, and the batter is Franmil Reyes.
Sign up today for Cubs SMS ticket offers for timely and relevant texts to give you the best access for upcoming games. Text CUBS to 88019 today.
Cubs are in the heart of their lineup as Franmil Reyes will swing and miss. Sponsored by Northwestern Medicine, with teams that take on the toughest cases at over 200 locations. Reyes twice has flied to center as he takes outside. He's the Cubs cleanup hitter today. Cleanup hitters brought to you by LRS, keeping streets, businesses, and construction sites safe and clean with innovative street sweeping and dumpster services. Go to lrsrecycles.com. Curveball misses, 2-1. All of the other big league baseball activity under the lights. And the 2-1. Little pop fly foul off to the right, out of play. The Mets beat the Pirates last night after they got swept by the Cubs earlier this week. The Mets lead is a precarious 1 game over Atlanta. Reyes takes, though. You may have heard David Haw report on the pregame show that Ozzie Albies, the very dynamic switch-hitting second baseman for the Braves, activated off the disabled list for their series beginning tonight. And that is against the Phillies. Breaking ball is down low. That's ball 4. But that should give Atlanta a boost, and they've been scoring a lot of runs as it is.
Yeah, he's been out since mid-June, breaking his left foot. But you add him to a lineup that includes Austin Riley and Ronald Acuna Jr. And he has that element you can't teach, great speed. Excellent defensive player as well.
Here's David Bodie. A run in, a man on. Cubs lead 2-0 in the fifth. Bodie lines one down the right field line. That's going to be a base hit over toward the sidewall. It's backhanded by Tolia. Racing to third is Reyes on a long opposite field single by Bodie. Good play by Tolia. Tolia running over. Left-handed right fielder. Had to reach out on the backhand and keep that ball from going all the way into the corner. He made a very good play watching the replay. He was right up against the sidewall, Zach, in an area that you and I cannot see. We're blocked out by the grandstand, but I did see the replay.
And there's not a lot of time to brace yourself as you slam into the sidewall after retrieving the ball with the glove. That was indeed an excellent play by the right fielder, Tolia.
He kind of pinched that ball against the side wall, the padded side wall. Jared Young, the batter, swings and misses. Jared batting for the third time. He's been up there with 2 men on base each time. He struck out and grounded out in his big league debut. Let's see if he can come through right now. Reyes, the big man, leads at third. Bodie at first. Bodie runs. The pitch lifted toward left, slicing in the corner. Daza chasing. Daza makes the catch. Daza angling toward the left field corner, made the catch going away. Hard hit ball by Jared Young, but it's out number 3. Cubs get a run on the home run by McKinstry. They leave a pair. We move to inning number 6. Cubs 2, Rockies nothing. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Pat and Ron bring you all the action of every Cubs game here.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woo-hoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
A reminder that all opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Cubs. Learn more about Sloan's touch-free restroom products at sloan.com.
Thanks to David Haw, pinch hitting for Zach Zaidman, who in turn is pinch batting for Ron Coomer today. Ronnie's just taking a day off. He'll be back here tomorrow for game 2 of the series, which begins at 1:20. It'll be Hayden Wesneski making his first Cubs start. Ground ball toward the middle. Tough play. Glove by Morrell. Throw to first. And did he get him? Yes, he did. What a play. Morrell, the shortstop, ran behind second. Spun all the way around. Couldn't get much on the throw. His momentum was heading into shallow right field. What a great play by Morrell. And the stretch at first by Young completes the putout. Beautiful play by Morrell.
We have seen 4 dynamic plays by Morel at shortstop over the last 2 games. He's filling in for Nico Horner, who remains out with that triceps issue. What incredible range, and he's got that golden arm, and to be able to throw it on target after the spin, very impressive.
Alan Trejo robbed of a base hit. Again, the Rockies without any base hits today. Brian Serven, right-handed batter, will take inside. 2-0 Cubs in the 6th with 1 away. Serven taps one foul, 1-1. We would like to extend birthday greetings today to Maggie Zarang. That is our great engineer Paul Zarang's niece. 7th birthday.
Happy birthday, Maggie.
Make sure you get all the candles blown out, Maggie. Here comes the 1-1. Swinging a chopper foul at the plate, 1-2. That would be at 1st or 2nd grade, I would think, for Maggie. Possibly 3rd, I suppose. One ball and 2 strikes on Brian Serven. The 1-2 pitch, bouncing ball left side, charging, gloving, Morel running throw again, dug out by Young on a nice play at first. Chris just had some rhythm moving in. He gloved it on the short hop. Didn't bother to set his feet. Made that running throw a little bit low, but bailed out on the other end by Young for the 2nd straight play. 2 down. And it brings up Ryan McMahon.
We've seen Morel play a number of different positions this season for the Cubs. Probably has looked the most comfortable playing second. I'd say number 2 on the list is the way he's played short so far.
Swinging a foul back out of play. I liked him in center field. I've actually liked him everywhere he's played. He has not embarrassed himself at all, and he has shown remarkable versatility. Wherever they put him, he gets the plays made.
It's funny, I asked him, is there a specific place you want to play?
Drilled to deep left center. This can be trouble. Hermosillo back. That's going to be a long home run. Ryan McMahon breaks up the no-hitter and the shutout on one swing. His long home run, his 17th of the year, makes it a lead of only 2-1 in favor of the Cubs. Not a cheap home run by any means.
He got all of that. A fastball that was intended to sink a little bit more than it did. It stayed up. And McMahon just went the other way with it, using the wind to his advantage.
Cubs lead is now 2-1. 2 down, 6th inning. Jonathan Daza, the batter. He has twice bounced back to the mound. Jonathan will take a strike, 0-2.
A 430-foot drive the other way by McMahon.
And still blowing out. We might see another homer or two before this one is over. Here's a breaking ball outside, 1-2. Again, the Rockies without Chris Bryant been limited to just 42 games of competition this season. He had a lower back issue early in the year, and then he has been out lately with what's called plantar fasciitis. The 1-2 is low and away. It's a foot injury that is very painful. I've had it, and it involves some of the smaller bones in your foot, and it takes forever for them to heal. Here's the 2-2. Line to right, opposite field single for Jonathan Daza. And obviously for a professional athlete, Zach, all the running that ball players do in any sport, really. You can imagine how frustrating that must be for Chris to not be able to play with that plantar fasciitis issue.
And it's just been plagued by injuries, a whole number of different things over the last few seasons.
Bryant, in his 42 games, limited to only 5 home runs. You figure 42 is roughly 1/4 of a big league season, almost exactly, in fact. But he had just 5 homers, drove in just 14 runs. So even when he played, he was not all that productive. Breaking ball is outside, 2-0.
At today's Woodman's home run inning contestant is Joshua Michelle from Bellwood, Illinois, who will win the Woodman's gift card jackpot if your team player hits a home run this inning. You can enter with a QR code at any Chicago area Woodman's or by visiting 670thescore.com. Good luck, Joshua. Today's Woodman's home run inning contestant, service and savings. That's Woodman's.
Jonathan Daza at first represents the tying run. The big slugger, Crone, at the plate. You would not expect to see Daza run in this spot. And the 3-0 to Crone. Taken for ball 4. That will probably get the Cub bullpen going. Top of the 6th inning, a run in. Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach, will stroll out to the mound to see about the stamina remaining for Marcus Stroman today. It's a good day to pitch, nice and warm, not oppressively humid or hot. Right around 80 degrees at game time.
This is the 3rd time around the order for Stroman, and the Rockies have hit him hard this inning. Ryan McMahon with the solo home run the other way to tie the game. Daza with a hard hit ball for a single, and now C.J. Crone, who is a dangerous man at the plate. A week ago today, he hit a 505-foot home run at Coors Field against the Diamondbacks.
That's a long way. And that was just a few days after Christian Yelich had hit one 499, which was for a few days the longest of the year. Rogers waiting. And the pitch on the way. Check swing, it's down low. Thinking about some games tonight, though, involving some teams who have postseason aspirations. The Twins at the Guardians. That was a big series. Cleveland with a 3-game lead over the White Sox, 4 games over Minnesota. The Yankees with a 6.5-game lead in the American League East. Mets 1 game up on Atlanta. St. Louis 7.5 up on Milwaukee. Bounce wide of third, glove by Bodie. Moving to his left, throws to second. There's the force. That's the inning. Ryan McMahon homers, though, and the Rockies get to within 1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs 2, Colorado 1. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Something amazing can happen anytime in any game right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Michael Hermosillo is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is brought to you by On Deck, America's largest online small business lender. Apply today at ondeck.com.
Hermosillo has struck out and grounded out. Checks his swing. That'll cost him a strike, 0-1. Cubs lead 2-1, bottom of inning number 6. Herman Marquez coming back 0-1. High fly ball, left field, shallow, playable for Daza. Jonathan Daza backpedaling and making the catch for out number 1. Here comes Nelson Velasquez. Velasquez has bounced out and flied to right. The White Sox play in Detroit later on. I like to see a lot of division matchups this time of year, Zach. In fact, the more division opponents you play, the more exciting it is for me. There's a great familiarity. You take the White Sox and Tigers. They've been playing about a century or so. And this year, the White Sox still have a chance. The Tigers do not. The 0-1 drilled in the air, right center field. Pretty well hit, but it's playable for Grichuk. And Grichuk makes the catch. A collision. Tolia slid and actually knocked Grichuk off his feet. Grichuk made the catch. They were both battling a tough sun out in right center. They didn't realize that each man was going for it. Neither man is hurt. And the out was recorded, 2 down.
Yeah, there's been some tentative play out in the outfield, specifically center field by Grichuk today. And he should be used to Wrigley from his days with the Cardinals. But Tolia was coming in full speed while Grichuk was fighting the sun. And I think at the last second, Grichuk was able to see that the right fielder was coming his way and kind of just stuck the glove out to avoid a full body blow from the right fielder.
Tolia slid feet first as Morel hits a ground ball to short. Trejo will throw to first in time to end the inning. Cubs are retired in order. We go to the 7th inning. It is the Cubs 2 and the Rockies 1. This is the score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Listen to every exciting game here.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Hey, Chicago, it's your city treasurer, Melissa Conyers-Irvin. Interested in growing your personal and business wealth or learning more about home ownership? Want to connect with financial institutions? Check out our free Building Wealth Today for Tomorrow Financial Empowerment Summit, Saturday, October 1st at UIC Forum, featuring Damon John. From ABC Shark Tank, Bill Rancic, The First Apprentice, MC Light, financial education workshops, and more. Learn more at ChicagoCityTreasurer.com/BWTT. Brought to you in part by Wintrust, Arcelis & Company, and JP Morgan Chase.
This September, Chicago Gourmet is going Uberboard. Join host Chef Sarah Gruenberg for Prost in the Park, a new Oktoberfest-style event with chef takes on classic German delights, Uba bands, fun cocktails, and delicious craft beer. From familiar favorites to a big collection of local craft breweries, get ready to toast at this Sunday fun day on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Prost in the Park, Sunday, September 25th. Tickets at chicagogourmet.org. Presented by Performance Food Service.
Alongside Pat Hughes, Zach Zaidman with you. David Haw is with us as well. Did the pregame show an excellent job. He'll be on the postgame show, and you can hear David every weekday morning on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score with Mike Mulligan on the Mully and Haw Show Our engineer today, Paul Zarang, the maestro, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. It's a 1-1 ball game. It's a 2-1 ball game, excuse me, with the Cubs on top of the Rockies here in the top half of the seventh inning. Randall Grichuk leading things off for the Rockies. Right-handed batter, hits out of a crouch. Marcus Stroman still on the mound. Stroman works from the first base side of the rubber, a traditional infield for the Cubs with two guys on each side of second. Pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Outfield straight away with Grichuk at the plate. The pitch. A looper into right center field. Underneath it is Velasquez, and he makes the catch. One away.
Connor Joe is on deck, Zach. He is the DH for the Rockies. The Cubs designated hitter today, Franmil Reyes. The North Sounders are trusting him as the DH, powered by Proven Winners, the brand that gardeners trust. Learn more at provenwinners.com.
Here's Michael Tolia, the right fielder. Batting from the left side against the right-hander Stroman. The pitch. Popped up, shallow center field. Going back is Morel. Coming in is Hermosillo, and it's Hermosillo fighting the sun and making the catch. 2 away.
A lot of routine outs in today's game. Recorded by both pitchers, actually. Stroman and Marquez continue to throw strikes. Each pitching well.
So it'll bring up Connor Joe with 2 down here in the seventh. The Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Rockies. Wind whipping out to left field as we speak.
Our good friend Miguel Esparza set to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" today.
That pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Joe. Miguel did a wonderful job on the national anthem, Pat, prior to today's ball game.
So he's doubling up and doing the stretch as well, and doing play-by-play on the Spanish Cubs radio. Yeah, he's a very talented man. He used to be an Elvis Presley impersonator.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Joe looks at a ball low, 2-1.
Sometimes he will greet me with, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog."
Is that a compliment?
I'll say yes.
Here's the 2-1. Oh, that hits Joe. He'll take first base. Couldn't quite see where it got him. Like the hand area. Yeah, he's looking at his left hand. And David Ross is saying, hold on here. We think that may have hit the bat.
Trainer out to take a look at Connor Joe as he checked his swing. It may have hit the very knob of the bat on the bottom, but it also got part of his finger, which sometimes is wrapped around the bottom part of the bat, and you can get both the bat and the finger hit at the same time. Connor Joe says, I'm all right. So he's going to stay in. The way the ball jumped after it made contact made you think it was the wood. It was the bat that the ball hit primarily, Zach.
Cubs are not challenging. Joe's okay. He stays in the game. He's at first base. 2 away, top 7. Alan Trejo at the plate, the shortstop, batting from the right side against the right-hander Stroman. High leg kick and the pitch. That's in there for a strike, 0-1. Trejo was hit by a pitch in the third. Grounded out to short in the 6th. Robbed of a hit by an excellent defensive play by Morel. This pitch is hit in the air to shallow center field. Going back, McKinstry coming in. Hermosillo can't find it in the sun, and it drops in. Joe advances to third. Safe at first is Trejo.
Morel went racing out from short. He knew it might be an issue for Hermosillo. Hermosillo running in, Zach, at the last second. He held up both hands as if to say, men, I need some help. I do not see that ball. And sure enough, it bounced about 10 feet to the left of his body on the grass for a base hit.
Number 35,
So Bud Black will send out a pinch hitter for the Rockies. Elias Diaz will now pinch hit for Brian Servin. 2 on, 2 out for Colorado here in the top of the 7th. The Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Rockies. The tying run at third base in Joe. Diaz, a right-handed batter, feet spread wide apart, bats out of a crouch. Stroman deals. In there for a strike, 0-1. A slider that started inside and then floated into the zone. Diaz on the year hitting at .234, 9 home runs and 47 RBIs. The pitch. Strike 2 called. Fastball 92 miles per hour on the inner half. Joe at third, Trejo at first. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. The Cubs holding on to a 1-run lead over the Rockies, 2-1. Let's see if Stroman can work his way out of this jam. The 0-2. Diaz fouls it back. Lunged across the plate to get a piece of that slider from Stroman.
Wind picking up a little bit, Zach. Those flags are stiff now. The wind blowing mainly toward left center and dead center, that area.
Stroman peers in, gets the sign from Gomes, but the pinch hitter Diaz calls time and steps out of the box. Now Diaz digs in. Stroman is ready, puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt. Here's the 0-2. Bounced in the dirt, blocked by Gomes. The runners stay right where they are at first and third.
Still some good break on that breaking pitch by Stroman. He's at 84 pitches.
There is activity in the Cubs bullpen. The left-hander Brandon Hughes has begun warming up. 1-2 the count. Stroman deals. Ground ball hit to third, fielded by Bodie. The toss to first in time, and Stroman and the Cubs get out of the jam. It's time to stretch at Wrigley. Cubs leading the Rockies 2-1. The 7th inning stretch is sponsored by Tasty Works. Love where you trade. Here is the Cubs Spanish radio broadcaster, Miguel Esparza.
Feliz mes de la herencia hispana. ¿Dónde están los latinos? Let's count it out. Here we go. En español. A la 1, a las 2, y a las 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so we'll root for them. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs. Vamos.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Listen to every exciting game here.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
For the game changers, there's Grainger. You'll find supplies and solutions for every industry at Grainger.com. Grainger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Alongside Pat Hughes, Zach Zaidman with you. Ron Coomer has the day off. Bottom 7 here at the friendly confines. It's the Cubs on top of the Rockies 2-1. Zach McKinstry takes a ball low from Herman Marquez. Elias Diaz stays in the game. He's now the catcher for the Rockies. The pitch in there for strike 1-1. McKinstry homered in the last of the 5th. The pitch. That's low and outside for a ball, 2-1. Ian Happ, an RBI single in the first. The pitch. Foul back off the screen, 2-2 the count. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Parkins and Spiegel Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on the Score. WSCR and HD Chicago. WBMX HD2 Chicago. An Odyssey station.
The 2-2 delivery to McKinstry. An awkward-looking swing and miss. Strike 3. One away here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Cubs leading the Rockies 2-1. We welcome you on this Friday afternoon to Wrigley Field. Cubs trying to win their 4th consecutive ball game after that impressive 3-game sweep of the Mets in New York to start the week. Here's Ian Happ. He swings and fouls one out of play off to the left, 0-1. There is activity in the Rockies bullpen. Right-hander Justin Lawrence has started warming up as Happ takes a ball low, 1-1 the count. Ian on the afternoon is 2 for 3. Marquez deals. Low and inside for a ball, 2-1. Game-changing moment is sponsored by U Chicago Medicine. Tougher, stronger, smarter. Visit uchicagomedicine.org to learn more. Happ swings and misses at a slider from Marquez, 2-2. Marquez works his motion. Pitch just outside a full count.
Marquez pitch count only at 89 with one away in the 7th inning. So he and Stroman both throwing a lot of strikes today, Zach.
The 3-2. Up high, ball 4. Ian Happ draws a 1-out walk here in the last of the 7th. It'll bring up the number 3 hitter in the order today, Yan Gomes, who's 0 for 3.
Let's see if that base on balls possibly gets the Rockies bullpen going.
If you're wondering about Wilson Contreras, Cubs say Contreras is advancing to light agility work in what's called a running progression as he tries to work his way back from that ankle injury. So here's Gomes hitting from a crouched right side. He swings and lines one foul off to the right. Above the netting over the tarp. On the right field line. So 0-1 the count to Gomes. Happ being held on at first by C.J. Cron. The pitch. Low and outside. 1-1. Curveball that missed.
Quite a few boats are out on Lake Michigan today. The lake less than a mile away out beyond the right field fence.
Throw to first, getting back, standing up, his hat. Yeah, it was 81 degrees at first pitch here at Wrigley this afternoon. Partly cloudy, just a gorgeous day. Got to take advantage of it, right? Here's the 1-1. Gomes cracks it foul off to the left, 1-2. Marquez is ready. So's Gomes. 1-2 the count with Happ at first base and one away here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Cubs up by 1. The pitch. Bounced in the dirt. Nicely blocked by the catcher Diaz. Count even at 2-2 to Gomes.
Let's keep an eye on Ian Happ in this spot.
Cubs have been aggressive on the bases. Throw to first. Happ gets back, standing up. Two balls and 2 strikes. The count to the batter, Gomes. Marquez puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, kicks and fires. Ground ball hit to short, fielded by Trejo to second for 1. Rogers to first, in time, double play, and that ends the 7th inning. After 7, it's the Cubs 2 and the Rockies 1 on The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game right here. This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
The 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
Thanks to David Haw. We go to the 8th inning. Cubs lead 2-1. A good old-fashioned pitcher's duel between Marcus Stroman and Herman Marquez. Now, Stroman will leave. Left-hander Brandon Hughes, the rookie, will take over on the mound in the 8th. The catch of the game is sponsored by Catch Des Moines. We're going to give that to Chris Morrell, making a couple of nice plays defensively at shortstop today. Ryan McMahon leads it off, fouls it back right down below us, and out of play. Thought we were going to have a souvenir there for a second, Zach.
I was laughing, thinking the one time Coom isn't here, a ball would end up in our booth in his exact spot.
Lefty to lefty, the 0-1 to McMahon. McMahon homered for the Rockies run back in the 6th. That was also the first hit against Marcus Stroman. Marcus allowed only 3 hits in 7 strong innings. It's his game to win. His pitch is fouled away, 1-2.
That's a quality start by Stroh. And quality starts by Cubs pitchers are sponsored by Benjamin Moore, the official paint of the Chicago Cubs. See quality come to life with Benjamin Moore paints in 3,500 colors. Visit benjaminmoore.com for a location near you.
Hughes ahead of McMahon, 1-2. The stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball zips low and outside, 2-2. Still waiting for the attendance figure. We'll get that shortly. Boy, that was fast work. Zach just handed me the attendance. 31,775 today. The 2-2. Fastball a little bit high. Looks like I was a little bit closer in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Fastball, strike three, caught. McMahon caught looking. Fastball hit the outside edge. That's out number one. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by Hyundai and its award-winning lineup of SUVs, sedans, and hybrids. Cubs lead 2-1. It just did get the outside edge. Perfect pitch from Brandon Hughes. Here's Jonathan Daza poking it foul off to the right, out of play.
You're so focused in on the slider from Hughes that if you guess wrong, man, he can freeze you with that fastball, and he did there.
McMahon trying to walk his way on base to begin the inning. Instead gets rung up. Out number one. Cubs lead by a run, eighth inning. The 0-1 to Daza low and inside. Getting back to Morrell and his defense. We're going to call the plays he made collectively the catch of the game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. In Des Moines, the S's are silent, but the city is buzzing. Plan your weekend getaway and catch what you've been missing at catchdesmoines.com. A little bit low, 2-1. Daza 1 for 3. From the stretch, the bearded left-hander fires. Line toward right, base hit. Soft opposite field single for Jonathan Daza. Rockies have the tying man on base, and the batter, the dangerous C.J. Cron. Invite you to stay tuned for the toast of the game ball player. That's going to be delivered by Zach Zaidman, and he'll report that in the ninth inning. And it's sponsored by Binny's Beverage Depot. Cron has struck out, flied out, and drawn a walk. You got to be real careful facing a guy like this on a day like today. It's a hitter's day. The ball definitely carrying, but the pitching really has dominated the ball game.
You asked me earlier what I remember from that early season series in Colorado between the Cubs and Rockies. I remember C.J. Cron had a big series.
He hits a ground ball to third. Bodie goes to second. There's one. McKinstry turns it for a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. Inning-ending twin killing. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Cubs 2, Rockies 1. This is the score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game right here. This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's Bench Jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Our out-of-town scoreboard is fueled by Citgo. Keep your engine running smoothly with top-tier Tri-Clean gasoline from our proud partner, Citgo. Wherever you go, let's go together. This is the only game going on right now in the majors, but tonight, some big games and matchups with divisional implications. You have White Sox and the Tigers in Detroit, and the Twins playing the Guardians. A lot at stake this weekend, Pat.
All right, David, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Justin Lawrence is the new pitcher for Colorado. Pitching changes sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Cubs. Learn more about Sloan's touch-free restroom products at sloan.com. Cubs would love to get an insurance run or 4. Right about now, they lead 2-1 last of the 8th inning. Franmil Reyes to face Lawrence. Bodie on deck, and then Jared Young. Franmil swings and misses 0-1. Cleanup hitter sponsored by LRS. If your business or construction site needs an extra level of clean with portable hand wash stations or portable restrooms, partner with the industry expert. LRSrecycles.com. Reyes has flied out twice and walked. Lawrence, kind of a sidewinder, fires a strike 1-2. Lawrence, a big, strong, dark-haired right-hander. And he steps toward third base and then wings it in sidearm. Strike 3 called. Reyes caught looking. That's out number 2. Correction, that's out number 1. And the batter is David Bodie.
And it's a food fight, an MLB food fight to determine which ballpark food is the best this year. Fill out your bracket and vote for Lily's Q Pulled Pork Nachos at MLB.com/food fight today.
Bodie has been on base 3 times. A pair of singles, also hit by a pitch. Takes a strike from Justin Lawrence. 2-1 Cubs, bottom of the 8th. 1 down, nobody on. Here comes the pitch. Bodie hits one in the air, shallow right center, converging Tolia and Grichuk. Tolia makes the catch. And that's out number 2. I'm chuckling because Grichuk, instead of ranging over, moved way back. Did not want to risk running into his teammate again.
Yeah, lesson learned, right? As soon as you said the word converging, Grichuk started backing away quickly.
2 down. Here's Jared Young in his big league debut. Nothing for 3. Swings and fouls it back. The feeling is believing moments of the game are brought to you by Loyola Medicine. Experience kinder medicine at loyolamedicine.org. Cubs lead by a run, 2 down, 8th inning. Line drive, base hit to right. Toward the corner, sliding back, handing the ball Tolia. And going for 2 with a double is Jared Young. His first big league base hit. We'll see if that's going to be a single and an error or a straight double. He gets a nice round of applause from this crowd here at Wrigley Field. It is a double. Great moment for Jared Young.
There's your feeling is believing moment of the game. The first major league hit for Jared Young. A double in his big league debut.
Cubs lead 2-1, bottom of the 8th, and he could be a very important run. Out at second base, Michael Hermosillo swings and misses.
Back doubles by Cubs batters are sponsored by Horizon Therapeutics, official biotechnology company of the Chicago Cubs. Learn more at horizontherapeutics.com.
Hermosillo, 0-for-3 in the game. Lawrence fires, swing and a miss, 0-2. A vanishing slider. That ball ended up about 2 feet outside. A relative of Jared Young, in a great state of jubilation, was put on camera just a moment ago. Here comes the 0-2. Outside for his ball, for a ball. The count now 1-2.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him before the game, and he knew he was going to get an opportunity today. Was officially called up Wednesday when the Cubs had to put Rafael Ortega on the injured list with the fractured finger.
Swinging a foul back by Hermosillo.
So Young has many family members in attendance here today at Wrigley Field. What a moment for him.
And let's see if Hermosillo can drive him in and allow Jared Young to be safe at home. When a Cub is safe at home, it's sponsored by Grainger, proud official partner of the Cubs and Wrigley Field. The 1-2 pitch to Hermosillo. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 ends the inning. So the Cubs will take a precarious lead to the 9th inning. Fasten those seatbelts. Cubs 2, Rockies 1. This is the score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game right here. This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Ready to improve your bottom line? The Room can match you with a top financial analyst. Trusted by small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, The Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woohoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat, ComEd is a proud sponsor of the 9th inning and partner to businesses like yours. ComEd, powering lives.
Zach, we go to the 9th inning. Alfonso Rivas has taken over at first base. The new man on the mound is Manny Rodriguez. Brendan Rodgers first up for the Rockies. Rodgers has some power, right-handed batter. The first pitch by Rodriguez is a strike, 0-1.
Another defensive change for the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki has entered the game, and he's in right field.
Rodriguez always works from the stretch. Pop fly, shallow right, Suzuki in and going out and making the catch is McKinstry. The second baseman ran a long way, but apparently, Zach, he was calling all the way. I say that because I noticed Suzuki pulled up and let the second baseman just have some room and make the play.
The sun was in Suzuki's eyes as he was coming in because of the angle that McKinstry took, a diagonal angle toward the line. He was unaffected by the sun, so an easier play for McKinstry to make. One down.
Cubs 2, Rockies 1. We are in the top of the ninth inning. Base is empty. Randall Grichuk takes low and outside. Cubs looking for their fourth consecutive win this week as they follow up that 3-game sweep over the Mets. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Day games tomorrow and Sunday. Some more warm weather is scheduled. Hayden Wesneski against Jose Urena tomorrow. Javier Assad and Ryan Feltner on Sunday. Each game at 1:20, a chopper foul, 1-2.
Originally, Wade Miley was scheduled to start tomorrow afternoon's ball game, but the Cubs decided to push him back until Monday in Miami. So Wisniewski getting his first opportunity to start a major league game.
Grichuk has always had some power, 15 home runs this season. That's got to be on his mind in this plate appearance with his team down by a run. He hits a bouncing ball foul toward third.
Cubs spring training is around the corner. Join us at beautiful Sloan Park in sunny Mesa, Arizona. Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Cubs.
We're going to get your thoughts on the toast of the game ball player, Zach, momentarily. And that's brought to you by Benny's Beverage Depot. Here comes the 1-2 to Randall Grichuk. Pop fly foul off the hands. Good pitch. It's out of play. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. The toast of the game presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Certainly some candidates today.
Zach McKinstry having a big game. A triple to lead off, a home run.
The 1-2 pitch inside, 2-2. Great outing by Marcus Stroman, the Cubs starting pitcher, which continues the trend that began in New York. Starting pitching has been absolutely dominant of late for the Cubs.
Christopher Morel with several defensive gems. Ian Happ with a pair of hits and an RBI.
Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Breaking ball, got it. 2 down, ninth inning. The Rockies are down to their last chance. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers, brought to you by Hyundai and its award-winning lineup of SUVs, sedans, and hybrids. And the batter is Michael Toglia, and the fans start to stand here at the friendly confines.
Pat, I'm going to give the toast of the game to Marcus Stroman. Pitching sets the tone, and he set the tone in a big way today. 7 innings, 1 run allowed on 3 hits.
Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Toglia takes outside. And if Rodriguez can save it, Marcus Stroman will be a winning pitcher at Wrigley Field for the first time all year. Ground ball to the left side. This should do it. Morel throws to get him. And the Cubs win the ball game. 1, 2, 3 from Manny Rodriguez. Marcus Stroman gets the win. He had been 0-5 at Wrigley. He now is in the win column with 7 Terrific innings here today. Cubs congratulate one another. They beat the Rockies by a score of 2-1. And it is time for the Cubs. After every win, it's time to fly the W. This victory is brought to you by Allegiant Air, official airline of the Cubs radio network. Non-stop flights and low fares only at Allegiant.com. Together we fly. Cubs 2, Rockies 1. Back with the totals right after this. You're listening to The Score and the Xfinity Cubs radio network.
Something amazing can happen anytime in any game right here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Fans kind of just hanging around near their sections and their seats, visiting with neighbors and friends and family, maybe even complete strangers, as the Cubs have beaten the Rockies today by a score of 2-1. Here are the game totals for the victorious Chicago Cubs: 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors. For the Rockies, 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. The winning pitcher, Marcus Stroman, he improves to 4-7. The losing pitcher, Herman Marquez, now 8-11. The save, and a very efficient 1-2-3 save it was for Manny Rodriguez, his second of the year. 2 hours and 11 minutes of ball today in front of 31,755. Cubs win their 4th in a row. Back to wrap things up right after this on The Score and the Xfinity Cubs radio network.
This is the Chicago Cubs radio network. Pat and Ron bring you all the action of every Cubs game here.
Get ready for Chicago Gourmet. This September 22nd through 25th, Chicago Gourmet is creating a stir with a weekend of spirited events, serving up delicious food, premium wines, spirits, and beer. Join world-class chefs Rick Bayless, Stephanie Izard, Danielle Boulou, Sarah Gruenberg, and more for gourmet fun on the Harris Theater rooftop at Millennium Park. Tickets will sell out. Get yours today at chicagogourmet.org. From the Illinois Restaurant Association, Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits, and Choose Chicago.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woohoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Every year, we say we'll wake up earlier, exercise more, really rest, and eat healthier. It's hard for us, but for dogs, not so much. dogs are up at dawn, run for fun, sleep like champs, and they love eating fresh, healthy food every single meal. Give your dog another healthy habit. Real fresh food from the Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio.
2-1 the final. The Cubs continue to pitch very, very well, and they have made it 4 consecutive wins this week. Zach, what are some of your final thoughts today?
The Cubs are following the formula that worked so well for them in New York. Terrific starting pitching. They had a 1.06 ERA over the 3 games in New York. Marcus Stroman today holding the Rockies to just 1 run. Clutch hits and terrific defense, another part of the formula, and reliable pitching out of the bullpen. Cubs got that today from both Brandon Hughes and Manny Rodriguez. And how about the ascension of Zach McKinstry? Had 2 hits, including a home run today, now batting .364 over his last 7 games with 2 home runs, Pat.
Well, Zach, what do you say we do this again tomorrow afternoon?
With one caveat. We add the Coom Dog to the mix.
Ron Coomer will return tomorrow. Our thanks to David Haw for pinch hitting for Zach, who in turn was batting for Ron Coomer today. But, gentlemen, I enjoyed it. Thanks to both of you. Please stay tuned for David Haw's post-game show. Our thanks to our great engineer, Paul Zarang, for a job well done. And thanks to David Haw again, his post-game show coming up. For Zach Zaidman, it is Pat Hughes saying thanks for being with us and goodbye from beautiful and historic Wrigley Field in Chicago. Again, the final today, the Chicago Cubs 2 and the Colorado Rockies 1. This has been a presentation of The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey, powered by the Beat the Streak podcast, with new tips daily to help you win a $5.6 million prize. Listen on the Odyssey app and wherever you find your podcasts.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WSCR 670 The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network has been presented to you in part by Vinny's Beverage Depot, Allegiant Air, Benjamin Moore, Geico, Hefty Trash Bags, Horizon Therapeutics, LRS, Sloan, Wintrust, Bell's Brewery, Granger, proud official partner of the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks.
This is the Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Listen to every exciting game here.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Baseball. America's game.
The most dramatic moments in the history of sports.
It's about connection.
Makes the catch up against the wall.
And now, with Apple TV Plus, Friday Night Baseball comes home.
Is this happening? It is.
Friday Night Baseball, streaming on Apple TV+.
Hey, Chicago, it's your city treasurer, Melissa Conyers-Irvin. Interested in growing your personal and business wealth or learning more about home ownership? Want to connect with financial institutions? Check out our free Building Wealth Today for Tomorrow Financial Empowerment Summit, Saturday, October 1st at UIC Forum, featuring Damon John. From ABC, Shark Tank, Bill Rancic, The First Apprentice, MC Light, financial education workshops, and more. Learn more at chicago.citytreasurer.com/BWTT. Brought to you in part by Wintrust, Arcelis & Company, and JP Morgan Chase.
Back to the Grubhub Spelling Bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Yeah, this is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on the score.
Now it's time for Cubs post-game show on 670 The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network. Sponsored by Cars for Kids, Cross Country Mortgage, NabletonMazda.com, and by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. And now, your host, Zach Zaidman.
What a day at the ballpark. Wrigley Field, the Cubs 2-1 winners over the Colorado Rockies. I'm David Haw in for Zach Zaidman, who was pinch hitting for Ron Coomer, so I guess I'm pinch hitting for Ron Coomer. Those are big shoes to fill. The Cubs came through in a big way. Marcus Stroman, boy, was he impressive today with his outing. 2 hours, 11 minutes, pitching like he was double parked. That was an efficient outing for Marcus Stroman. We have a lot to offer on the post-game show today. We're going to hear from David Ross of What's on Deck, sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Cubs. Cubs spring training is around the corner. Join us at beautiful Sloan Park in sunny Mesa, Arizona next February. All right, we're going to hear from Rossi in a little while. We're also going to take your phone calls, 312-644-6767. You have to be excited about the way the Cubs are playing, and that's sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life at Las Vegas's newest entertainment destination, Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Let us know what you think, because this is a victory the Cubs that is consistent with the way that they have been playing. They came in here the hottest team in the National League, and they remain that way with the fourth straight victory. The first three came against the first place New York Mets, and this one just as impressive against the Colorado Rockies, because Marcus Stroman gets his first victory at Wrigley Field. Think about that. A guy who waits until mid-September to get his first victory at home, but it was worth the wait because he was dominant in 7 innings and giving up 4 hits, only gave up the home run to McMahon, and then Brandon Hughes came on and Manny Rodriguez closed the door with his second save of the season. We can take a look at our final box score, sponsored by McGrath Acura of Westmont. When you do the math, choose McGrath, and you look at the box score, and it is impressive. This is the Zach McKinstry game. Zach McKinstry gets 2 hits. I thought he was going to hit for the cycle. I thought at one point in time I was going to be filling in for Coombe, and he was going to miss a no-hitter and somebody hitting for the cycle. It was that much fun here at Wrigley. Zach McKinstry, 2 for 4 with a run batted in. He had a triple. He had the home run, which was the key hit. You look around the box score, Ian Happ also had 2 hits in 3 at-bats. David Bodie always hits well against the Colorado Rockies. He had 2 hits as well. And then you go into the pitching line, and it's 7 innings from Marcus Stroman, giving up just 3 hits with 1 earned run. The home run, he struck out 5 with 2 walks. And that also will lead us to our pitching recap, sponsored by Benjamin Moore, the official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Throw a no-hitter with your next painting project. Visit benjaminmoore.com for a location nearest you. And let's look at Stroman. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Again, Marcus Stroman did not have a victory at Wrigley Field. The splits were unbelievable for a guy of his stature, but he had talked about pitching and enjoying pitching at Wrigley Field, and yet he had yet to win a game here, coming in 0-5 with a 7.11 ERA in 9 starts. This was his 10th at the friendly confines, and he made it the best one yet. He gets the victory. On the road, he was 3-2, but this is a guy who it means a lot to him to pitch in front of these Cub fans, and finally he rewarded those fans with a victory. Marcus Stroman mixing up speeds, really efficient with his pitches. And what I think was very important throughout the day, he fielded his position very well because that is what he does as well as any pitcher in the league. The rest of the pitching recap, Brandon Hughes, the converted outfielder, gets his 5th hold of the season. The confidence that David Ross continues to place in Brandon Hughes is impressive. A guy who is a rookie, a guy who is coming in at high leverage situations. He did it again today in a 1-run game. He goes in and gives up a hit, gets a strikeout, and keeps his ERA at 3.25. And then a little bit of a surprise. I think that they have mixed and matched closers this year, but Manny Rodriguez coming in the 9th inning and pitching the 9th inning well, getting a strikeout and closing the door, getting his 2nd save of the season. And that is an impressive 1-2-3 combination with the Cubs. Stroman to Hughes to Rodriguez. You never quite know what the bullpen is going to be in terms of order, in terms of effectiveness, but they've been very good, and the starting pitching has carried the Cubs this week, a very strong week indeed for everyone in that pitching staff and in that rotation. Tommy Hotovy, tip of the cap to you, the pitching coach. Boy, has he done a nice job this year. Time now for Who's on a Roll, sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life at Las Vegas's newest entertainment destination. You know who's on a roll? It's the Zach McKinstry game. So if it is the Zach McKinstry game, it's got to be Zach McKinstry. Boy, the pride of Fort Wayne, Indiana, who comes over in a trade from the Dodgers. And this week has been the best week as a Chicago Cub, maybe one of the best of his career. He's hitting .364 in his last 7 games. That includes 2 home runs, including one today, and the tape measure shot against the Mets. This is a guy who has had a terrific week. He's on fire, and he has played his way into consideration for what might be next. You just don't know where he fits in terms of the next great Cub team. Everybody's vying for a spot in that. Everybody's trying to get noticed and make an impression. Zach McKinstry continues a late season hot streak, and you can't be ignored. So I think that Zach McKinstry is who's on a roll today, and good for him because every little contribution helps. When you see guys like Morel coming through, you see guys who are emerging you didn't expect. You want that kind of competition because that will get the best out of each and every prospect. Time now for the cleanup hitter recap, sponsored by Blue Sky, formerly JC Restoration. Call 331 cleanup, and by Tovar Snow Professionals, Chicagoland Snow and Ice Management Professionals. Call 1-844-GO-TOVAR, proud sponsor of Club 400. And the cleanup hitter recap goes like this. When you look at the Cubs lineup, Franmil Reyes batted 4th today. He is a cleanup man, hitless in 3 at-bats, had a walk, had a strikeout, left 2 runners on base. He has been a guy that has been interesting. Again, another one of those examples of somebody who's played his way into consideration for looking ahead at when the Cubs are contending again. And this is a nice little run the Cubs are on, not only this week, but take a step back. Franmil Reyes has been part of this for a while, a couple months now. And since the All-Star break, the Cubs have improved now to 27-25. That's winning baseball. That's winning baseball when you get starting pitching that is quality, when you get the bullpen coming through in high leverage situations, and you're getting timely hits from unexpected sources. Guys like Reyes in August, and he's cooled off a little bit, but a guy like Zach McKinstry coming through this week, that is what you want to see, and that is what you're going to need to see moving forward. So we are going to cover everything that the Cubs have accomplished this week because it has been a week full of surprises, both in New York against the Mets in a 3-game sweep, and today it continues against the Rockies without Chris Bryant. But boy, they were a team that was ready to play again, and you have to give David Ross some credit for keeping the Cubs playing with some intensity and with that focus, and really with nothing much to play for except for pride and looking ahead. They are coming through and playing some pretty clean baseball. So we have a lot ahead with David Ross going to be talking shortly with reporters down in the clubhouse. We have a full highlight package for you. And again, your phone calls, 312-644-6767. Stay with us here on the Cubs post-game show. David Haw in for Zach Zabin, who was in for Ron Coomer. Coom back tomorrow. Zach back in his regular chair, and I will be off tomorrow. Looking forward to that as well. This has been a fun day here at Wrigley Field. Stay with us here for more highlights and with David Ross on the Score and Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
From a 6-4-3 double play to a walk-off grand slam, listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Ready to improve your bottom line? The Room can match you with a top financial analyst. Trusted by small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, The Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO